પ્રોજેક્ટ સિલેક્શન, SSIP, ટ્રેનિંગ, પ્લેસમેન્ટ આની ચર્ચા કરેલી હતી. તમારામાંથી જે વિદ્યાર્થીઓ એ એટેન્ડ ના થયો હોય તો આપણે ઓલરેડી વેબસાઇટ ઉપર એની લિંક મૂકેલી છે, યુટ્યુબ પર અપલોડ કરેલો છે, તો એકવાર ખાસ જોઈ લઈએ. સિરીઝની અંદર આ એક બીજો વેલ્યુએબલ વેબિનાર આપણે ઇલેક્ટ્રિકલ એન્જિનિયરિંગ ડિપાર્ટમેન્ટ તરફથી એરેન્જ થયેલો છે કે ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન ટુ આર્ડિનો, રાસ્પબેરી પાઈ એન્ડ AI, આર્ટિફિશિયલ ઇન્ટેલિજન્સી. અત્યારે જોવા જઈએ તો ઇલેક્ટ્રિકલ ફિલ્ડની અને બધા ફિલ્ડની અંદર આ જે ત્રણેય કન્ટેન્ટ છે, એટલે કે આર્ડિનો, રાસ્પબેરી પાઈ અને એઆઈનું ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન અને નોલેજ હોવું દરેક વિદ્યાર્થી માટે ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે. અને જ્યારે આપણે કોઈ સારો પ્રોજેક્ટ બનાવવા જઈ રહ્યા હોઈએ ત્યારે તો આપણે આનું નોલેજ હોવું જ જોઈએ. અને નોલેજ આપવા માટે જ, ભલે સિલેબસની અંદર નથી, પરંતુ નોલેજ આપવા માટે જ આપણે આ એક 2 દિવસીય સેમિનારનું આયોજન કરેલ છે. હું આશા રાખું તમારા માટે ઘણું ઉપયોગી હશે અને પ્રોજેક્ટ અને આગળ પણ આ વેબિનાર છે તમારા માટે હેલ્પફુલ રહેશે. થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ.
Thank you very much, A. M. Patel sir, for your valuable statements for the students. So now, without wasting any time, we will start our session. So, in today's session, we will cover Arduino hardware and its programming, and these are the contents of today's presentation. First of all, I introduce microprocessor and microcontroller and explain the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you see the slide?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So after learning the basics of microprocessor and microcontroller, we will see difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Then I will introduce Arduino, and I will compare Arduino with 8051 microcontroller. That is in the syllabus of one of the subject of 5th semester. Then I will cover Arduino development board and its all the sections. Then we will see Arduino IDE, means integrated digital environment. Then we will see basic structure of Arduino program, and at the last we will see some demonstration of some sample programs, and I will also show you demonstration of one project of 192 term which is based on Arduino programming. So first of all, what is microprocessor? So all of you are studying microprocessor 8085 and microcontroller 8051 in the subject microprocessor and microcontroller applications in current semester. So I think you all are familiar with these words. So I will define in a single statement that microprocessor is a multi-purpose clock-driven, register-based digital integrated circuit that accepts binary data as an input, processes it according to instructions stored in its memory, and provides results as output. In short, it behaves or it gives output according to the program stored in its memory. Normally, when we speak the word microprocessor, we should always keep in mind that it is not a single component. Okay, normally it is called microprocessor systems. Normally it is called such that microprocessor system, because only microprocessor IC cannot handle any type of task. It requires memory chip, it requires peripheral device for the port like 8255 or 8155. It requires crystal, okay. It requires A to D or D to A converter, etc. Whatever additionally, without additional such component, it cannot work. So, microprocessor IC alone cannot do any type of task. Okay. But on other side, microcontroller is a small computer on a single chip, because it contains not only CPU, it contains CPU, memory, means RAM, ROM, input output ports in a single chip. So in short, microprocessor is a integral part of microcontroller. So microcontroller contains microprocessor, memory, RAM, ROM, and input output ports. So it is embedded inside some device that they control. So and microcontroller is often small and low cost. Suppose if you want to make one project to control 2 or 3 some devices, okay. So we require microprocessor IC, memory IC, RAM, ROM, then peripheral device like 8155, 8255 chip, etc. And one dedicated SMPS supply also required for microprocessor. But if I make same project using microcontroller, then I require only single chip of microcontroller. Okay. So to make any project, it is more suitable, more convenient, and it is cheap if we make the project using microcontroller. Okay. But always this statement is not true. We will see it later. So in here, difference is presented in the pictorial view. So left side, this is microprocessor. Inside, what contains microprocessor inside it? So microprocessor contains ALU, means arithmetical logical unit, control unit, registers, and address bus, data bus, and control bus. And microcontroller contains CPU, IO ports, RAM, ROM, counters, timers, and address bus, data bus, and control bus. So in a single chip, it contains all the required components. So we nothing require additionally to make our project. Okay. So here difference in explain in detail. In microprocessor, CPU is standalone. RAM, ROM, input output port, timer are provided separately. Okay, but in the case of microcontroller, CPU, RAM, ROM, input output ports, timers, and all other required peripherals are contained in a single chip. On the other side, microprocessor designer can decide amount of RAM, ROM, and input output ports. So we can change the size of RAM, ROM, ports, etc. But in the case of microcontroller, it is fixed. Once it is designed or fabricated, we cannot change the size of RAM, ROM, and input output ports. Microprocessor normally provides high processing power, and we can further enhance its processing power. But in the case of microcontroller, normally it has low processing power, and we cannot change its processing power because we cannot change its RAM as well as other inbuilt components. On the other side, microprocessor requires high power consumption. Separately, SMPS supply is normally must be provided separately. On the other side, microcontroller requires very low power. Normally, we can give 5 volt through 7805 IC, and normally it is sufficient for the 8051 or any type of microcontrollers. Typically, microprocessors are available in the market are 32 or 64 bit, and mostly microcontroller used in industry as well as in our project are 8 or 16 bit. Microprocessor is a general purpose computer, and microcontroller is a single purpose computer. Microprocessor is less reliable because it contains because microprocessor system contains so many components. Okay, but microcontroller contains only single IC and it is highly reliable. So chances of fault in the case of microcontroller are very less. These are examples 8085, 8086, and there are so many examples I can give, and you may also know about various types of microprocessor available in the market or previously used. Okay, and microcontroller currently you are studying 8051, and apart from these, there are so many microcontrollers currently used are Arduino, then PIC, ESP, and so many microcontrollers are used in the industry. Now, with respect to some factors, I will compare microprocessor with microcontroller. Application-wise, if we will see, microprocessor is a general purpose computer, and microcontroller is designed for particular application. For example, in our home, we are using AC, and in this AC, microcontroller is used to control the temperature and so many other functions like timers, etc. So once it is programmed for this function, we cannot change it. Okay, we cannot vary the for example, in the case of AC, we cannot we cannot vary the range of temperature. So we cannot make any change after installing the program or after using microcontroller for particular appliances. According to speed wise, if we see, microprocessor is very fast and we can increase the speed as per requirement, but microcontroller is relatively having slow speed. However, we can design it according to our need. Microprocessor requires many external parts. On the other hand, microcontroller requires very few additional parts. Okay, cost wise, microprocessor is costly than microcontroller. Microprocessor requires more energy than microcontroller. There are so many vendors available in the market. They deal with microprocessor are Intel, AMD, ARM, Snapdragon, etc. And microcontroller manufacturers are Atmel, ST means Texas Instruments, Microchip, etc. Okay. Now, so we have so I give you overview of the microprocessor and microcontroller, and now we will see what is Arduino. So Arduino is open source electronic prototyping platform based on flexible, easy to use hardware and software. So if we use Arduino, we don't require additional programmer for it. So it is very easy to use for our projects. Now I will compare Arduino with 8051 because currently you are studying 8051. So with respect to 8051, you can easily understand what is Arduino. Okay. So 8051 is developed by Intel in 1980, while Arduino was developed at the Interaction Design Institute, Iveria, Italy in 2003 by some graduating students. Okay. 8051 followed Harvard architecture and it is having CISC means complex instruction set computer, while Arduino followed modified Harvard architecture and it contains RISC means reduced instruction set computer. It is also called as RISC means reduced instruction set computer. So in other sense, it has set of very less instructions. Okay. 8051 is an 8-bit microcontroller, and a similar way Arduino is also 8-bit microcontroller, but recently 32-bit version is also available, but in this presentation we will see 8-bit version only. Okay. Operating voltage of 8051 is normally 5 volt, but we can give it 5 to 6.6 volt, and at the output port it gives 25 milliampere current. So we can give directly to the LED or very low consumption device. On the other hand, Arduino boards works on 5 volt. Even we can give it 12 volt also, Okay, so it contains inbuilt voltage regulator 7805. So if we will give 12 volt or more, it will automatically convert it into 5 volt. Okay, so we can give either 5 or 12, what is convenient to us. Okay, Arduino boards can be powered through USB port also. We can give it power through our laptop computer also. Arduino boards are normally works on 5 volt logic, but it may also work on 3.3 volt logic also. Okay, so it is versatile than 8051. Okay, GPIO means general purpose input output pins of Arduino. Source is 40 milliampere of current. We can run small relay directly through Arduino. Okay, so this is pictorial difference between Arduino and 8051. Now I will compare other features of 8051 and Arduino. 8051 contains only 8 kilobyte flash memory, while Arduino contains 32 kilobyte flash memory. So we can load lengthy program also. Okay. In the case of 8051, it contains only 256 byte RAM, while Arduino contains 2 kilobyte RAM. So it is 8 times more. However, in recent version of 8051, the size of RAM as well as ROM is more than older versions. But still, Arduino is winner in the if we consider its RAM and ROM. On the other hand, Arduino contains EPROM of 1 kilobyte in it. Okay, so we can see that Arduino contains more flash memory, more RAM, EEPROM, etc. Programming point of view, if we will see, 8051 requires Scale Microvision to load the code into the 8051 microcontroller, while Arduino IDE means Integrated Digital Environment is used to write, compile and upload code to the board. On the other hand, in the case of 8051, one has to know about the registers and pins because compiler doesn't know it. So we must know uh, the numbers of pins and its functions while designing the code. And in the case of Arduino, anybody can easily write code for Arduino in Arduino IDE, and it is very simple and easy to understand. To upload the program in the 8051 IC, we need an external programmer, while in the case of Arduino, we doesn't require additional programmer or any such device because Arduino board contains all the required peripherals in it. Okay. Now, what is development board? So, development board is a printed circuit board designed to facilitate work with a particular microcontroller. It may be for 8051 or PIC or ESP or Arduino or any other microcontroller. Typically, such development board contains power circuit, programming interface, basic input, usually buttons or LEDs, and input output pins. Now, in the case of Arduino development board, Arduino development board houses microcontroller ATmega328P, which is the heart of the Arduino board, and power supply jack to give supply, 12-volt supply to the board, USB jack to give 5-volt supply as well as to upload the program, and other supporting components are housed in the development board of Arduino. Arduino has its own dedicated integrated development environment, and it is open source. Okay, ID is named as Arduino IDE. Every microcontroller board has its unique IDE. So same way, Arduino IDE is called as Arduino IDE. Development board of Arduino cost generally 400 to 500 rupees, but its original version cost 1500 rupees. But this Chinese version or low cost version equally works well. Normally, all the students and even industry uses these 400-500 rupees board, and there is no any issue with it. Okay. Now, if you really want to learn this Arduino, then you must know all the parts soldered in the board. So first of all, in the upper part of this board, see, this is digital input output pins numbered from 0 to 13. Total 14 pins are provided for digital input output purpose, and on the bottom side these are power pins. From this board we can take 5-volt supply or 3.3-volt supply also, or we can directly give 5-volt to the V-in pin also and run the board. So this is power pins. These are analog input output pins numbered A0, A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. So total 6 analog input output pins are provided in the board, and these are used while reading analog data like voltage, current, etc. This is USB jack. We have to connect cable to here and another USB pin to the laptop or our PC. So after connecting cable over here, board receives power from the laptop or PC, and data also uploaded through the same way. Okay, this is DC power jack. We can directly give 12-volt here, and this is internal regulator 7805, and if we give 12-volt here, this board receive 5-volt through this regulator. This is 16 megahertz crystal. Every microprocessor or controller requires specific clock frequency. So for this purpose, here 16 megahertz crystal is connected over here. Here resettable fuse is also provided on the board. This is USB to serial IC, and when we upload the program to the board, uh, serially data receives and go inside into the microcontroller 80 mega 328P. Okay, these are two LEDs, TX and RX. TX means transmission, and this is receiver. So when data transmit these LED blinks, and when this board receives data, or at that time RX LED will blink. Okay, in on the board, one LED is connected to the pin number 13, and normally for basic programming, student starts from uh, this LED. First of all, student normally make program to blink this onboard LED, because in the testing of this program, we doesn't require any other external hardware. Okay, so by this way, we can learn simple program and also test the board whether it is properly working or not using this program. So for this purpose, this LED is provided on the board. This is bootloader pin, and normally during our project it is not required, but manufacturers are use this. So at the time of manufacturing, some bootloader code are loaded inside the IC. But after making this board, these pins are normally not used. Okay, this is power LED. When we will give power 5 volt or 12 volt, this power LED will glow, and by this manner we can know that board receives power. Okay, these are capacitors, and normally regulator requires capacitor, as you already studied in the EC&C subject. Okay, so this is Arduino development board, and I explain all the component provided on the board. Now, if we want to use this board, first of all, we have to connect cable to the USB jack, so it will receive power, and it will be ready to get code also. Okay. Now, if I want to uh, make a program and then load into the board, and then I want to run it and test it, what actually I need. So first of all, you have to uh, use this link, and you will get Arduino IDE from this link. Okay, Arduino IDE is open source software, so anybody can download it, use it, circulate it. Okay, so first of all, download and install Arduino IDE in your laptop or computer. Then connect the board to your computer via the USB cable normally provided with the board. When you purchase, normally cable included in the box. Okay. In some case, we require additional drivers, but normally, most of the cases we doesn't need it. Okay. Normally, if we download and install the IDE and connect the cable, our laptop or computer automatically recognize the Arduino board. Okay, so normally additional drivers are not required. So after installation of Arduino IDE, first of all launch the Arduino IDE. Then in this Arduino IDE, select your board, because so many versions are available in the market. you have to select your version in the IDE. Then you have to select the serial port, because when you connect the board to your laptop or computer, automatically COM ports are randomly assigned to the external devices, and these COM ports are virtual. Okay, so you have to first of all check on which COM port your board is connected automatically, and you have to select this that COM port in the IDE. Okay, so first of all you have to select board, and then you have to select your serial port. Okay, then you have to open the blank file and write a program and compile it. After writing the program, you have to compile it. After compilation, you can know that whether your code is correct or not. If there is any error, uh, you will recognize that on particular line there is an error, and then you can easily sort out it. If the compilation process is completed successfully, or in other sense, if your program is right or okay, then you can upload the program to the board. Okay. Now, what is Arduino IDE? If you open the IDE in your laptop or computer, you will see this type of window. In this IDE, on the upper side, there is a menu bar, and it contains file, edit, sketch, tools, help, etc. In the button bar, it contains this type of symbolic buttons. Here first button is provided for to upload the code into the board. So there are some other buttons are also provided on it. In the middle, there is a input or edit area. You can write here program and edit it. When you compile it, status will be displayed in this bar, means status bar, whether it is compiled or not. And last one is program notification area. Suppose if you upload the program and it is successfully uploaded, then message will be displayed in this window that it is successfully uploaded. If there is any type of error occurs, for example, board number mismatch, home port mismatch, or any type of error if occurs, then you can see in this notification area, and you can rectify the problem according to. Now, after connecting the Arduino board with your laptop or computer, as I already said, that you have to click tool button from the menu bar, and you have to select board. Suppose I am using Arduino Uno, then I have to select particular board. Suppose I am using Arduino Mega, then I have to select this one. Okay. If I select wrong board, then error will occur. Okay. After selecting right name of board, you have to select correct serial port. See here, when you click serial port button, here some virtual COM ports will be displayed, and you have to select the COM port on which your Arduino is connected automatically. So if you select wrong COM port, then also error will occur. Okay. So different types of status messages are displayed in the IDE while making and uploading the program. Okay. So when you upload the program and if it is uploaded successfully, then such message will be occurred. For example, here it is written in this black window that binary sketch size 1110 bytes out of 14,336 byte maximum. So you can also see that how much amount of memory used by your program or your code. Okay. Now, if you have selected wrong serial code, then this type of message will be displayed in the notification area. Okay. See here, serial code so and so not found. Okay. So you have to select correct serial code. If you have selected wrong board, then such message occurs: wrong microcontroller board, microcontroller found. Okay, so you must have to select correct name of board. So before learning the programming, we must know some terminology of the program. So in the case of Arduino, sketch word is used. Here sketch is nothing but a program written for the purpose of uploading and use in the Arduino board. Pin means digital pin, analog pin, etc. That we just see in the development board. Digital means either high or low. If we are using digital input output pin, then we must know this thing. High means 5 volt and low means 0 volt. Okay. And analog. Here 6 analog pins are provided in the board. So analog means it is in the range. For example, if we are measuring voltage or current, we will receive sample from this pin ranging from 0 to 5 volt. But actually, if we use 8-bit A to D converter, then in actual case it will range from 0 to 255. Okay, if we use 10-bit A to D converter, then for same range of voltages, it will give digital output ranging from 0 to 1023. Okay. Now we will learn basic structure of program. In basically Arduino is nothing but C or C++ like program language, and it contains only two functions. Okay. First one is setup and second one is loop. In setup function, we have to initialize variables and we have to also define modes, input, whether it is input or output, and we have to also provide other required libraries for the particular sketch or particular program. Loop. Whatever the statements are written in the loop functions will be operated repeatedly. So, for example, if we want to blink one LED, then statements written in the loop will be executed repeatedly. Okay. It will only stop when we reset or power off the board. Okay. Arduino is an open source software. So many libraries are available freely, and such libraries are very much helpful, and it saves our lots of memory. Not only memory, it simplifies our code or our sketch. Okay, so in the setup functions or before the setup function, we have to uh, draw the libraries. Okay, now let us see some basic statements. These are syntax. Uh, who is this? भाई माइक बंद कर दे जेनु चालू है. Who is this nuisance? Okay. I am noting this number and he will be punished. Okay. So these are basic statements used in the program, and we will start from these some basic statements. Pin mode, pin comma mode. This is used to set particular pin as an input or as output. So for example, if I write pin mode into the bracket 3 comma output, that means pin number 3 is used for output purpose. It will give only output. Okay. Digital read pin. If we want to read the status of particular digital pin, we have to write this statement, digital read pin. For example, if I write digital read into the bracket 4, means I want to check the status of the pin number 4. Digital write pin comma value. If I want particular pin, if I want to make particular pin high or low, I have to write this statement, digital write. For example, if I write digital write into the bracket 8 comma high, that means 8 number pin number 8 will become high, or in other sense, 8 number pin will give 5 volt. Okay. Any pin can provide 40 milliampere of current. and when I write high on for the particular input pin, automatically it installs 20 kilo ohm pull-up register. Okay. Now Arduino timing. In so many cases, we require some poses or some delays. Okay. For this purpose, there are two statements are there in the Arduino IDE. For example, first one is delay into the bracket millisecond. If I write delay into the bracket 5, then it means it will delay for 5 millisecond. If I want to delay it for 1 second, then I have to write delay into the bracket 1000, because any number written in the bracket are millisecond. Okay. But if I want to give very small amount of delay, then I have to write this delay microseconds. Okay. This is pictorial explanation for the bits, bytes, nibbles, word, etc. So bit or byte. What is bit or byte? So it may be either 1 or 0. 1 means high, 0 means low. Set of 4 bits is called as nibble, and set of 8 bit or set of 2 nibble is called as byte, and set of 2 byte is called as word. Okay. Now we will see one simple small program which is written for the blinking of LED connected to the pin number 13. It is provided inbuilt in the board. Okay. For this purpose, as I already told you that there are two main functions, setup and loop. So first of all, we have to write this. First of all, we have to define particular pin. So I define LED pin. I give name to the 13 number pin as LED pin. So now 13th number pin will be recognized as LED pin. Okay. In setup function, we have to write void setup, and between two parentheses, we have to assign the value to the particular defined pin. So I have written the statement pin mode LED pin, comma output. Now LED pin or 13 number pin will become output pin. Okay. So this is very small and simple program. So setup function is over. In loop function, we have to return the such statements that will repeat itself continuously. Okay. So so for the loop function, we have to write void loop, and between the parentheses, I have to write digital write LED pin high, means first this pin will become high, then I will provide delay of 1 second. For that purpose, I have to write delay into the bracket 1000. Then I have written here that digital write LED pin low, means after 1 second it will become low, and again I have provided delay of 1 second. Okay. So this loop function will be repeatedly executed. So after running the program, LED will blink. Okay, and on time is 1 second, and off time is also 1 second. So I will show you the demonstration. See here, I have connected the board with the laptop. Okay, this is very simple, and I have opened Arduino IDE and written the code that just I have explained. I have defined 13 number pin, right? setup as well as loop functions. And now I will select Arduino board and port. Okay, board is already selected. Now I am selecting COM port 18 where the board is connected. Now I am compiling the code. If everything is okay, message will be displayed here. Done compiling. So it is successfully over, and this is symbol for uploading the code to the board. Here it displays done uploading. That means code is already reached to the board, and according to the code, board is working now, and LED connected to the pin number 13 is blinking at the interval of 1 second. Okay, so this is very simple program. Now I will show you another program. Here I have used one button and one LED. So when I press the button, LED will glow. Okay, for this purpose I have write code here. First of all, I have to give name or assign name to the particular pin. Okay, so before setup functions we have to do this. So in the beginning I have written that constant integer button pin is equal to 7. So name button pin is assigned to pin number 7. Similarly, constant integer LED out is equal to 8. Integer status of button is equal to 0. Means status of button will initially remain 0. When I want to change, it will change only, otherwise it will remain initially 0. In setup function I have assigned values. So here we want to glow LED using help of button. So I have assigned statement pin mode LED out output and pin mode button pin input that I have already defined in the beginning of the program. So after writing the setup function, we have to write the code into the loop function. In the loop function, void loop, and between the parentheses I have written status of button is equal to digital read button pin. So whatever the value given to the button pin or pin number 7 will be assigned to the variable status of button. This is variable. Initially it is 0. Now whatever the status of the LED pin will be assigned to the status of button variable. Okay. Now I will check the status, and using if else statement I will glow the LED. Okay. So if status button is low, then LED out must be low. Okay. Because I have written that digital write into the bracket LED out comma low. Else, if this condition not satisfies, then what will happen? LED out will become high. Means digital write into the bracket LED out comma high. Okay. So status of the LED will be according to the button pressed or not pressed, according to the condition of the button. Okay. Now I will show the schematic diagram of to test this program. Here I have used 8-bit button module and 8-bit LED module. That is presented in this diagram, and I have connected. Okay. So how button and LED should be connected? So see here, 7 number pin is used for LED and 8 number pin is used for button. Okay, and power is given to the LED through the Arduino board. So 5 volt and ground is given to the breadboard, So this is very simple circuit, and now I will show you the demonstration. See here, I have run the code. Now when I will press the button, LED will glow. When I will release the button, LED will become dark. Okay, so this is very simple program. Okay, now in many programs we have to display some quantities in the LCD display. For this purpose, this diagram is very much helpful to you. Here connections are clearly shown of LCD display and Arduino board. Okay, so pin number 12 is used for RS and means reset, and pin number 11 used for enable pin. Okay, so on the display side, 4 number pin is provided for RS and 6 number pin is provided for EN or enable. So we have to connect 6 number pin with the 11th number of pin of the Arduino board, and we have to connect 4 number pin of LCD display with the 12th number pin of Arduino board. And to give data to the display, normally we are run display in the 4-bit mode. In other sense, we are using only 4-bit, so it saves 4 pins of the board. Okay, and circuit also becomes very simple. So here pin number 5432 is used for D0, D1, D2, and D4, D5, D6, and D7 in the case of 4-bit mode. And to vary the brightness of the display, we have to connect 10 kilo ohm potentiometer, small potentiometer, between 5 volt and ground, and middle terminal should be given to the pin number 3. Okay. So if I want to display electrical engineering department on the LCD screen, what I required in the program. So first of all, I have to include library. If I include liquid crystal library, then program will become very much smaller. So I have included the library. Then I have written constant integer RS is equal to 12, enable 11, D4 5, D5 4, D6 3, and D7 2. So in the statement, I have written liquid crystal LCD in the bracket RS, EN, D4, D5, D6, D7. So it will automatically recognize the pin numbers and receive data from the particular pin of the board. So using these only three statements, I can define pins. So this is very much simple as compared with the 8051 microcontroller, because in that case I have to written so many statements to do this. Okay, in setup functions, I first of all restart or begin the LCD. So I have to write LCD.begin 16 by 16, 2, because I have used 16 by 2 LED display. If I have used 16 by 4, then I have to write here 16, 4. Okay. Now I have to write whatever I want to display on the screen. I have written here LCD.print into the bracket electrical engineering department. So whatever the written between the this into the bracket will be displayed in the display. Okay. In loop function, I have written LCD.set cursor 8, 1. So if I want to move the cursor on a particular location, I can move it through this statement. And at the last, I have written lc.print millisecond. Normally, we are giving 1 second or 1000 millisecond, and it is required. So we can uh, easily show the data. Otherwise, it will be continuously blinking. We cannot see it properly. So some delay must be required at the end. So after running this program, uh, this displays whatever the written in the bracket. Okay. And in the second line, in the first line, what is written? Electrical engineering department. And in second line, see what is written in the loop. So it the cursor 8 comma 1 means second line and 8th position, or in the other sense middle of the second line. I have written the second whatever is running. Okay, so it will continuous display 1 2 3 4 etc etc until I reset it, or until I remove the power. It will continuously increase the value of this number it every 1 second. Okay, now I will show another example, temperature measurement using LM35. LM35 is very small, very cheap and widely used temperature sensor. If I want to measure temperature between minus 55 degree and 150 degree centigrade, then it is a very cheap way to use it. Okay, so for this purpose, to measure the temperature, I have written the code. First of all, I have defined variable temperature is equal to 0. It is floating value, means it is non-integer. Analog data received from the LM35 will be given to channel number A0, analog channel A0. So I have assigned A0 channel for to receive the analog data from the LM35. Okay. Then void setup statements are written here. Serial dot begin 9600. This is baud rate. Okay. In loop function, I have written temperature analog read temperature pin, means A0 pin will give the data. TEMP is float value, and after multiplying the value received from the A0 pin with 0.48828125, it will give actual value of degree centigrade, and at the delay of 2.5 seconds, it will display current temperature. Okay. Okay. So see the demonstration. Here LM35 is connected directly to the Arduino board. Supply is also given to it, and analog pin is connected to A0. Here code is written, compiled and uploaded. After uploading, here TX RX LED will blink. That shows that board has received the code. And now press tools and press serial monitor. On the serial monitor provided inbuilt in the Arduino IDE, we can see now the current value of temperature. Okay, so this is very simple. Okay, now if I touch it, temperature will rise now 31.74. Okay, it was earlier 30.27. So it is rising, and when I will remove my fingers again, temperature will start reducing. Okay, now I will show you another example. In 192 term, uh, we have I have made one project. Its name was Smart Irrigation System. This is block diagram of this system. It requires three sensors: soil moisture sensor, dry run sensor, and rain sensor. Okay. Here logic is that if the moisture level of soil decreases, pump will automatically start. And when the moisture level reaches certain value, then pump will be automatically off. So by this manner, we can save the water as well as electricity. Sometimes it is happened that uh, when it is raining, if pump is on, then this is wastage of water and wastage of electricity. So in this project, we have provided raindrop sensor. When it senses the amount of or percentage of rain, and if it is more than certain amount, it will automatically stop the pump. So in all way, it saves water as well as electricity. So this is simple block diagram. This is its flow chart, and this is actual setup of this project. And the another essence of this program is that we can operate it from using our mobile also, and we can receive some notifications on our mobile. Even if we want to know the status of the farm from the anywhere in the world, if I send a message STA to the system, it will instantly gives the status on our mobile. So I will show you the demonstration. So this is initialization of project. When I give power to this, it will show certain things. When GSM modem LED blinks at the interval of 5 seconds, then we can recognize that it has catch the signal. Display is showing several things. This is raindrop sensor. Okay. This is here we can run it on manual as well as auto mode. If we run it on auto mode, then it works as just I have explained in the block diagram. Okay. Now these are some notifications received. We can see on the display. Okay. So on this project was selected under SSIP, and student received grant of rupees 5,000, and they will awarded this grant on 4th March 2020. Okay, when moisture level is low, pump will run because soil is still dry. Okay, but when it reaches 70% moisture level, then it will automatically stop. Okay. Suppose if raining is started and its intensity is more than 70%, then again pump will be off, and message will display on the LCD display that raining quality is something, whatever the value at that time, and pump is off. Okay, due to rain. So these are different notifications received on the mobile. On the right side, it is clearly shown that suppose dry run sensor doesn't receive any water, so instantly pump will be off, because if pump will run in dry mode, it will be damaged. Okay, so we must protect it from the dry running. Okay, so these type of messages are received on the mobile. Now this is testing of actual system. See here. Presently watering is 0% because sensor is out of the tray. Because this is not the actual pump, it is a water tray. Okay. So now when I insert the sensor into the tray, what will happen? When level rises and becomes more than 70%, watering will be stopped and pump will become off. So presently motor is off. Okay. This is dry run sensor. Okay. And the submersible pump is placed inside the bucket. Okay. So this is demonstration of Arduino based project that was made in 192 term under my guidance. It received SSIP grant. Okay. So these are references, and our presentation is over. I have covered all the main aspects of the Arduino programming and as well as its board. Okay. So if you have listened all these things carefully, you can make your own project very easily. And I hope that this presentation will become very much useful for you, and you will use this entire information while making your project. Okay. Thank you.
mic on